What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tracks for Beginners course. We're so glad that you're with us today. My name is Matt McCoy. I'm the founder of loopcommunity.com, and I'm a worship leader and a songwriter. I live in Chicago. I've been leading worship since I was, probably 12 years old. And my dad was a pastor. I grew up in very small churches where we didn't have musicians. We would set up in a school auditorium. We didn't have musicians. We barely had any budget. And I wish that tracks were around when I first started using tracks, because it just would have made my life so much easier. And I know that there's a lot of people who are in that same position. You know, you're setting up, portable church, trying to get a bass player, trying to get a drummer. And it can be hard to find musicians sometimes. And tracks can really help enhance your worship service. And so today, the goal of this workshop is to teach people how to use tracks. If you are just a beginner, you have no idea, you've heard multi-tracks, you've heard about tracks, but you don't know how to actually implement them at your church, well, I'm here today to show you how to do that. And we're going to just start from the basics and keep it simple. We're not going to get super crazy. The goal of this is that I want you to be able to go home or go to your church office this week and try it and actually use it this week at a rehearsal, or maybe start implementing them at your church this coming week. And it's so easy. Sometimes people don't do it because it just seems intimidating and can seem scary. It's like, how do I implement technology into my worship leading? But it's actually a lot easier than most people think. And so this is just going to be an intro class. It's going to be super easy. And also make sure you stick around, because at the end, we are going to be giving away a coupon code that you can use to get a free track, any track you want, any song you want. So stick around and we'll be giving away that coupon code. What I would love to do is I would love to ask a question of everybody, because I want to know who's watching. So I'm going to ask 2 questions, and in the comments, wherever you're watching, type it into the chats, all right? What I want to know is, first of all, say how long you've been leading worship, and then do you use tracks, yes or no? So for me, I've been leading worship for 20 years, and I use tracks, yes. I want to see in the chats where you're from, how long you've been leading worship, and do you use tracks, yes or no? Let's see. Daniel Ortiz, so glad you're here. Thanks for joining. All right, while those are coming in, we got 3 years. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's first, while those answers are all coming in. Wow, what's up, Pierre? Hello, Pierre from France. Daniel Ortiz has been leading worship for 10 years, and they use tracks. They're in Dallas, Texas. Rich, welcome from California, 25 years using tracks. Awesome. Dave, 20 years using tracks. Joan Murphy, 3 to 4 years, no tracks yet. Bertha, we're new to using tracks. This is perfect. All right. Becky Monroe from Indiana, leading 17 years, haven't used tracks yet. That's awesome. Welcome. Glad you're here. Curtis from Texas, good to see you. Wesley from South Africa, awesome. Leading worship for 8 years. Been using tracks for 3. All right, Brent Sanders, welcome. We're glad you guys are here. Lisa, 20 years starting with tracks. All right, so we've got a lot of beginners here. Wanda's been using tracks since 2020. Welcome, Wanda. Wow, people from all over the place joining here. Awesome. Adrian from Lima, Ohio, wants to be able to learn how to better help from the sound booth. That's a really, I'm so glad you're here, because that's actually really great. This is really good training for sound teams too, to know what in the world is happening with tracks. and how you can best implement them technically and sonically. All right. Well, we're glad you guys are here. Make sure you stick around because we are going to give away a coupon code at the end for a free track. But let's dive in and talk about what are tracks. Now, first of all, when I say tracks, there's a lot of different words that can mean the same thing. So the word loops, you might hear people say tracks. You might hear people say multi-tracks. You might hear people say stems or backing tracks, accompaniment tracks. All these words kind of mesh together and mean really about the same thing when a worship leader is talking about it. So, worship leaders will say, hey, I'm using loops or I'm using tracks this weekend. And when we first started Loop Community, everybody was calling it loop. Like, hey, are you using loops this weekend? And now I feel like the term most people use are tracks. Hey, are you using tracks this weekend? But it all means the same thing. But what are they, okay? I'm going to play one for you so you can just hear it. And there's a couple things that go that tracks have, okay? So the first thing I'm going to play is, you go to a concert and you hear instruments maybe in the band that you don't see on stage. And that is a band using tracks. It can really help fill in the sound of a missing musician. Maybe your bass player doesn't show up, all right? Then you can use tracks to fill in for that missing bass player. Or maybe you don't have a piano player. Well, you can use a track to play the piano underneath what you already have. So tracks are just meant to help supplement what you already have in your band at your church. Or maybe you have no band at all and you're just a vocalist. Well, you could sing along with the track and that would work fine. Or your acoustic guitar player called in sick. You can just use the acoustic track. So tracks are different elements. I'm going to go ahead and play one for you real quick so you can just hear. This is House of the Lord. So if you just went the acoustic track, you could just have the acoustic or maybe just the pad or just a piano. Or add a shaker and a tambourine. So these tracks, these instruments are playing underneath your band. Now, how are people actually staying in time with these tracks? That's the trick. Now, you go to a concert, you go see Hillsong, Bethel, whatever, and you probably see someone wearing these. These are in-ear monitors. And they're wearing these, and these are basically just headphones that help the worship leader and the band hear what they're playing. They can hear their instrument, but they can also hear the entire band as well. And they can hear the tracks. So they're listening to the tracks like these. And this is what the audience hears, by the way, too. Layered in underneath what your real band is doing. But what the band also hears is a click and a cue. Let me play these for you so you can hear what these sound like. So there's a click. It's a metronome.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
And then there's a little voice that says where in the song you are. Intro, 2, 3, 4. Check it out. Ready?
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So the band knows exactly where they're going in the song. Here it comes.
Verse, 2, 3, 4.
We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is.
So the band can hear the click and that little cue. We call that a cue voice, where it just says verse 2, 3, 4. And then everybody in the band knows exactly where they're going. That actually might be one of my favorite things about using tracks, is that how many times you could put a song in rehearsal where everybody has to write down like where they're going next? Well, now everybody in your band hears a voice tell them where they're going next. And so it's just like a little music director in everybody's ears saying, hey, we're going to the bridge. And then you go together. Also, the click track keeps everybody in time with each other. So some people aren't slowing down or speeding up. Everybody is just glued in together on a click. So there's two sides to a track, right? You've got the click and cues, which is what the band hears. And then you have all the instrument tracks, which is what the audience and the congregation hears. So that is what tracks are and why people might use it to fill in for a missing player, to just help enhance and fill out the sound of the band you already have. And you can also use tracks for rehearsal purposes, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But that is what tracks are and why people use them. You can also customize them for your church. You can change the key, change the tempo, you can change the arrangement, so you're not stuck to a track. And I'm going to show you how to do that as we go through this workshop. Tracks have changed a lot over the past decade, and it's amazing what you can do with tracks now using different apps that are out there. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It doesn't have to be like karaoke. I know that some people are like, well, tracks are cheating, or it's just like singing along karaoke. It does not have to be that way. Tracks can be another instrument in your band that's just helping fill out the sound and make it sound awesome. So let's talk about, how do you even get tracks? And I'm going to show you loopcommunity.com. This is Loop Community started, about 15 years ago. And loopcommunity.com is a website you can go to find tracks for worship songs. And we've tried to make it just really, really easy. Everything we do at Loop Community is about, how do we make running tracks easy for a worship leader and affordable. And so if you go to loopcommunity.com, you can create a free account and check out what we have. I'm going to show you this app later. This is a free app for running tracks, which is amazing, super easy. But we have tracks from every artist you can think of. You search for a song and we've got it. We've got tracks for every worship song that's out there right now. Here's like our top songs right now. You can see we also have different tracks for different size budgets. So the blue tracks are on the site. These are called master tracks. And these are the original tracks from the artist. So if you want the actual tracks from Elevation Rhythm, you can get those. We also have community tracks, which these are tracks that are made by worship leaders from all over the world. These are a really good, affordable option. We have premium tracks. These are purple tracks around the website. And these are tracks recorded by Loop Community in a professional studio in Nashville. Then we have what are called enhancement tracks, which are yellow around the site. And these are all electronic tracks that don't have real instruments in them, just electronic instruments like shakers and tambourines and like arpeggiators and synths, just meant to enhance a live band. Sound pretty cool. Actually, I'll play one for you really fast. So it sounds kind of like this. So those are just electronic type tracks. And then we have light tracks, which are just stripped down versions of songs that sound like this.
loopcommunity.com.
So light tracks just have like pianos and shakers and an acoustic guitar and a lead vocal, which is really awesome. So those are the types of tracks. I'll talk a little bit more about those, but we have tracks from 5 different categories here. I guess the point here is just that there's a lot of variety. We have all types of tracks for every worship song you can think of. So you create an account. Once you log in, you can search for any song you're wanting. You can see the latest community tracks we have or the latest premium tracks. You can see the latest albums we've posted. So let's just say you want to buy a track, and we're going to get Praise by Elevation Worship. So you can click on Praise, and you can see the different track categories that we have. Masters, which are the original masters, right? So if I press play here, these are the original tracks from Elevation Worship. Then we have premium tracks, which are our studio tracks from Nashville.
loopcommunity.com.
Really high quality options at an affordable price. And then community and enhancement. So let's just say you want to get the premium track. So you click on this, click on view track, and it shows you the different track options here. You can buy the track for the app only or the file download. The file download will give you the track in our app, but also gives you a zip file with all the wave files of each instrument. So if you want to get like the drums.wave and the electric guitars.wave and the acoustic, you can do that by purchasing the in-app and file download option. You can also make your own split track. So check this out. If you're like, hey, you know what? We just need an audio file that we can export from the browser and, throw it on a iPod or something. That sounds really dated, but you can actually use our browser to create your own track. So you can right here choose the key of the song right here. So if you want, it in B flat, you can do that. And then using our online mixer, you can adjust what instruments you want or don't want. So I'm going to press play. And you can mute whatever instruments you don't want.
loopcommunity.com.
So let's just say I don't want the guitars. So you can adjust this. You can change the volume of different instruments if you want. And once you've customized it, however you want to customize it, you can choose your key and then click Create Split Track. And this is only for $11.99. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to give you a 4 WAV files. It's going to give you your mix as a WAV file. It's going to give you a split version of your mix, which is the click and cues pan to the left and the tracks pan to the right. And then it'll give you the click as a WAV file and the cues as a WAV file. And so that's another really affordable option for creating tracks. But what I would recommend is if you're just getting started, find a song that you want. Like let's just say I Thank God, and browse the different track types that you like. And let's just say you want a community track. These are tracks made by another worship leader. You can click on it. You can listen to it to demo it if you want to hear what it sounds like. And then, so let's go ahead and press play. And then when you want to buy it, your purchase options are right here. So what I would say to get started is just start with the in-app only version. So this is $14.99, and this gives you full access to the track in the Loop Community Prime app, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So that's how you browse the website and find tracks. Let's talk about the Prime app. So I'm going to go to Products and click on Prime app. And this shows you the app that we've developed for Loop Community. And this is a very easy to use and free app that you can use to run all of your tracks. We wanted to just create the easiest way to run tracks. And so this is a free app that you can use on your iPhone, on an iPad, or a Mac. So just go to the App Store on your device and search for Loop Community Prime. And you're going to find this app. It's a free download. Tons of features in it are completely free. There's some more advanced, nerdy pro features if you want to pay for those, but you do not need those to get going. And in fact, I would say that if you're just getting going, don't even do that. Just get the app, start with the basic features, and you're going to love it. It really we give you everything you're going to need as a worship leader. So let me go ahead and show you Prime. We really developed this because we wanted to create an easy way to run tracks. And there really wasn't an easy way to run tracks. There was a way, but it wasn't easy. So we developed the Prime app, probably about 10 years ago. And it has just revolutionized running tracks in worship. So let me pull up the Prime app. This is what the Prime app looks like. And it might look a little overwhelming at first, but it's very, very easy to do this. So let me just give you a quick overview of what we're looking at. First of all, on the right-hand side, this section is your set list where you can add all of your songs that you want to play for Sunday morning. Once you've loaded a song, at the top here, this is your song timeline, and it shows you where in the song you are. So you can see I'm in the chorus right here, or here's verse 2. You can go ahead and scrub. Each section is a little block. So here's verse 4 and the instrumental, and then the ending. Over here on the left-hand side, this is your mixer. So this is where you can adjust the volume of the different instrument tracks. So you've got the click and the cues. Those are always red faders. So the click, which let me go ahead and play it for you so you can hear it. The click is here. This one, I can solo it. And then your cue track, that's the voice that says verse 2, 3, 4. We always make those the red faders. And then your instrument tracks are blue. And you can adjust those by soloing them. If you just want to listen to it, turn them up, turn them down, or mute them if you don't want certain instruments. So that's a quick overview. In the bottom right corner, this is a pad player, which I'll talk about later. And then at the top is all of your controls. So that's an overview of what we're looking at inside of the Prime app. And it works the same on the Mac version and the iPad version and iPhone version. So everything I'm going to show you, all the features are the same, and all packed into the free version of Prime. So let's go ahead and we're going to start from scratch, and we're going to build a set list together, because I want to show you how would you actually use this if you were leading worship tonight. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on set lists, and it's going to bring up my set list window, and it shows all of the set lists that I have. But I'm leading worship tonight, so I'm going to click on create new. We're going to create a new set list, and it's going to ask me what I want to call it. So let's call it Tracks for Beginners. And the service date, I can set the date. I'm going to say it's today. All right. We're going to click create set list. And now I have a blank set list. I'm going to click on add song right here, and it's going to bring up my song library. This shows me all of the tracks that I have in my song library that I've purchased. And you can filter them by different track types if you want. You can search for them. If I just want to see all the master tracks I have, I could filter them like that, very easy. Or if I want to see just the split tracks that I created, I can filter them like that, or just the multi-tracks. So really easy. You can also sort them by alphabetically or newest ones that you've added to your library. So let's look at newest first, and let's pretend that let's go back to Loop Community, and let's just say I'm going to download the song Praise. Okay, so I'm going to search for Praise, and I'm looking for Praise by Elevation Worship, and here it is right here. Actually, let's do We Praise You, Bethel Music. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, here's the song I want, and let's just say I'm like, you know what, I want to get a premium track or a master track, whatever you want. You click on it, and you choose this, and then you click on the in-app only version, and you add that to your cart. Now, I already have this one in my cart, but you would add it to your cart and purchase it. Once you go through the purchase process, it'll automatically, you don't have to do anything, it'll automatically show up in your library. So you go through the purchase process, and then it's going to show up in your Prime library. So let's go back here to add song, and I'm going to search for Praise. And we're going to look for, here we go, We Praise You, Elevation Worship, Bethel Music. So I'm going to click on it. This shows me all the different arrangements. So here is, because you can create custom arrangements and save them. I'm going to click on the original arrangement and click add to set list. And it's now added that arrangement to my set list. Let's go ahead and press play on this song so we can hear it.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so I've got my first song in my set list. We're going to customize it in a minute. Let's just add a few more songs to my set list. So I'm going to sort it by newest, and let's go ahead and add in Praise. I'm going to click on original and click add to set list. Let's add one more. We're going to add Trust in God. I'm going to click on original and add to set list. So I have 3 songs in my set list. If I want to reorder my set list, I can just click and drag to move these songs around. So I'm going to put We Praise You at the top, put Praise second. Now let's go ahead and customize this song. It's really easy to customize it. You can very quickly, if you want, change the key of the song. So check this out. While it's playing, up here, I can click on the key and choose what key I want this to be in. Let's just say I want to drop it down because it's too high. Now I'm in the key of G. Or if you want to bring it up.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
You can just with one click change the key of a song using the key button right here. You can also change the tempo by clicking on it and just speeding things up.
Chorus, 2, 3, 4.
Or if you want to slow it down. So you can change the key and tempo just like that. You can customize the faders just like this.
Turn, 2,
by
3,
adjusting what
4.
instruments you need. So if I were using this tonight, I would actually mute whatever instruments I already have. So I play acoustic guitar, so I'm going to mute the acoustic guitar because we don't need that because I'm playing it live. We have a bass player, so I'm going to mute that. Oh, guess what? Our bass player just called in sick. Now I can unmute it, and I have a bass player. We have a drummer, so I'm going to mute the drums. Bells, we don't have a bell player, so I'm going to keep the bells in there. That's cool. Electric guitars, our electric guitar player is brand new, not super strong. So I'm going to keep the electric guitars in, but I'm going to bring them down just a little bit. And the pads I'm going to keep in, and the percussion. We don't have a percussion player or a piano player or a synth player, so I'm going to keep all that in. And now I have this for my band to play along with. So you can customize the track to just be whatever your band needs to help enhance it. So what you can also do with these songs is you can edit the arrangement. So let's look at praise, and you'll see all these blocks appear. And let's just say you're like, you know what, this is too long. We need to shorten it. Right now it says that it's going to go for about 5 minutes. So what you can do is click the pencil tool, and you can choose edit arrangement. And all of these blocks can be edited. So I can move them around by just dragging them. If you wanted to start the song with the bridge, you could. But you can also double click on them to delete, or right click. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to click delete, and it just removed that chorus there. So let's just say I want to delete some of these outros, which are instrumentals. So I'm going to delete a couple of those. And I'm also going to delete this instrumental, so it's just half of an instrumental there. And you know what? I need to throw that chorus back in. So I'm going to double click and click on the chorus and click add new. And now I just added the chorus again, and I can move it wherever I want it to be. So let's just say I want to start the song with the chorus. I can move the chorus to the beginning. When I'm done, when I've kind of customized the arrangement of the song how I want, I can click on save. And now, check it out. What's really cool is that those band cues automatically update to what my new arrangement is. So instead of saying intro 2, 3, 4, it's going to say chorus 2, 3, 4. Check it out.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
And we're right into the chorus. If you're like, we want to repeat that,
Chorus 2,
just
3,
click the
4.
repeat button. So right here is a repeat button. And if you're like, hey, we just want to really like jam on this chorus and just keep doing it, click on the repeat button, and it's going to repeat the chorus again.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
If you want to repeat it infinitely, just press it twice and it turns on infinite loop. If you want to turn things down, you can press the fade out button. And all of the tracks will fade out.
Bridge 2, 3, 4.
So when you press the fade out button, all of the instrument tracks slowly fade out. The click keeps going. And then if you want to fade the tracks back in, you can press the fade in button. And now the tracks are going to come back in.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
The pause button just pauses the song. The play button plays it. Stop will stop the song and rewind it all the way back to the beginning. So if you want to start over. And then you'll also notice that right here, this is a master volume
Chorus
control.
2, 3,
So
4.
if the song is too loud for some reason, you can bring the level of that song down. We do our best to make sure that all the tracks at Loop Community have the same volume levels, but there's times when you might need to adjust one song over another, and you can use the master volume fader to do that, to bring it down maybe just a little bit. So those are your controls up here at the top. You can see the time. We can set the start and end time. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you want to just trim the ending, this ending right here is a little long of just blank. If you wanted to trim that back a little bit, you can just trim it by pressing the minus button here. You can do the same thing for start sections if the start section is a little bit too long. You can zoom in on the waveform by pressing the plus magnifying glass here. And you can zoom in to see the timeline a little better.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
Click it again to zoom out. So that's what those controls are. And that's how you would also change the arrangement of the song. Now let's talk about being spontaneous a little bit. What happens if you're like, hey, you know what? We're playing this bridge and we love, I showed you how to repeat the bridge if you want, but let's just say you're in the bridge and you want to go back to verse 1. What you can do is while the bridge is playing, you can click on verse 1 and it'll tee up verse 1 and get it ready to go next. So check it out. So we're like, hey, we're going to go to the verse. I'm going to click on verse.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
The cue sounded the verse, which is amazing. It told everybody in your band where you're going. Let's just say we want to go to the chorus now. I'm going to click on chorus.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
Now, you'll notice that when I clicked it, it waited 1 bar before it jumped to the next section. That's something you can change in settings. So in the settings section right here in the top right corner, I'm going to open that up. And you'll see here at the top, there's an option called jump time. This is called section jumping, this feature I'm showing you. And I had it set to 1 bar, which means that it waited 1 bar before it jumped to the next section. I would recommend that worship leaders keep it to end of section. That way, it finishes playing the section you're currently in before it goes somewhere else. So let's just say we're in the instrumental, and we want to go to the chorus. I'm going to click on chorus. It's going to wait until we're done playing this section.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
And now we're in the chorus. Let's go to the verse. It's going to wait till the chorus is done.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
So you can always change that in settings. That feature is called jump time. And you can change it from end of section, current bar, after 1 bar, or after 2 bars. To keep it simple, just keep it as end of section. All right, well, while we're in here, let's talk a little bit about some of these other features inside of settings. You can change the section jump time. You can also change the cue sound. So if you want to change the voice that's actually telling people where to go in the song, you can change that. We've got a few to choose from here. We have some in Spanish. We have Meredith Andrews, her voice is in here. We have a Portuguese voice. Phil Wickham recorded his voice and he's in here. Taylor, we have French. I'm in there, Matt McCoy. And then we've got German. So you can choose your sound. Let's go ahead and have Meredith Andrews lead us through. You can also choose your click sound. So we have a couple different click sounds that you can choose from. Here's Cedar. I'll just go and play it for you so you can hear it.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
All right, so that's Cedar. We've got Marimba, if you want to try that. Beat. Digital, for those of you who like Ableton Live. And that click, we've got digital click.
3, 2, 3, 4.
My favorite, though, is Rim. I think Rim just sounds more instrumental and kind of blends into the mix. You can also change the appearance of Prime. We have auto, light, or dark mode if you want to see Prime in dark mode.
2, 3, 4.
I feel like I just heard some people go, ooh. So this is dark mode of Prime. I love dark mode. It looks really great. Also, there's the light mode, which we started in. So let's keep it on dark for now. And let me show you now some transition options. So let's just say you really want your set list to flow and you want to maybe just press play and hands-free, just have these songs crossfade into one another. You can do that using transitions. And they're very easy to use. Let me show you how this works. Over in the set list, you see this little square button. If you click it, it opens the transition menu. In this, you can choose per song how it flows to the next song. So on the very first song, I have We Praise You, and I have it on stop. That means that when it gets to the end of this song, it's just going to stop. So check out what happens. Here we go. When we get to the end, it just stops and goes back to the beginning. Riveting. Very exciting. But let's go ahead and change it. So here's a couple of different options. There's crossfade, which means that when it gets to the end of the song, it's actually going to start playing the next song and crossfade it. So the volume is actually going to go down on the first song and up on the next song. Another option is overlap, which is very similar to crossfade. It starts playing the second song while the first song is ending, but it doesn't adjust the volume levels at all. The volume stays the same. Auto advance means that when it gets to the end of the song, check out what happens. It's going to get to the very end. When it gets to the end, it's going to go to the next song and start playing the
Chorus.
next
2,
song
3,
automatically.
4.
So no crossfade, nothing like that. Advance means that when it gets to the very end, it's literally just going to go to the next song, and that's it. It doesn't even play it. It just loads the next song. So that's another transition option. Trigger is great for worship leaders who are like, you know what? At the end of the song, we just want to keep going, and we just want to let the click keep going forever. And so trigger means that it's going to just keep playing the click into eternity. So you could maybe play a down chorus or a bridge, and then when you're ready to go to the next song, you could press the next arrow right here,
Chorus.
and it goes to
2,
the next
3,
song.
4.
So that's trigger. So let's go ahead and turn on crossfade so you can kind of hear what this sounds like. We're going to crossfade out of the song into the next song, and let's see what happens. And we might need to just make a few fine-tune adjustments to make it sound really great, but let's see. Let's try it.
In 2, 3, 4. Chorus. 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so that worked, but the ending of We Praise You was a little long. Like there was kind of too much of a gap. So I want to close that gap. And the way to do that is to click up here in the time section and just bring the end time back. Maybe let's just bring it back 6 or 7 seconds. And also I'm going to change this to overlap because we're starting that chorus so hard in the next song that I don't want it to be fading at all. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's go ahead and press play and see what it sounds like.
In 2, 3, 4. Chorus. 2, 3, 4.
Cool. That was a great transition. Right when that first song was ending, it started the click for the next song, faded it out, and we went right into praise. So you can really customize these transitions to automate your set list. I could turn on crossfade on this one, so it goes right in to the next song. And you know what I want to do? I would love to go from this song into a pad to set up the next song. So my third song is in the key of C. Actually, you know what? I got a sore throat and we need to change the key. I can't sing that high. So boom, one click and now I'm in the key of B. So you can easily change the key of tracks in Prime, which is amazing. No processing. It happens in the moment right away. And what I want to do is I want to maybe say a prayer before this song. So I'm going to bring in a pad in between praise and trust in God. So I'm going to go to my library. I'm going to click on pad tracks, and you can search for these at Loop Community to buy them. And I'm going to bring in a pad that I bought from Loop Community. These are called Prime pads. And I'm going to move it right in between. And I'm going to change the key of the pad to the key of B. And let's go ahead and I'm going to crossfade out of praise into the pad. And then I'm going to crossfade out of the pad into trust in God. All right, so I just turned on crossfade here. And let's see what happens here. Let's go ahead and press play. I'm going to end praise. We might have to change the end time a little bit on this one. I'm going to bring it back a little. Let's try it out.
In 2, 3, 4.
Awesome. So now we've crossfaded into our pad in the key of B. I am going to pray and maybe say something. When I'm done with my prayer, I'm going to do something called crossfade on demand. And all you have to do is press the next arrow, the advanced arrow right here at the top. And whenever I press it, it's going to crossfade on demand, meaning it's going to start the next song and start crossfading into it. So I say my prayer, ready to sing. Let's press next.
Intro.
My click
3,
starts
4,
for the next
5,
song.
6.
Right into the intro of trusting God. Just like a perfect moment there, right? We all know as worship leaders, you want to keep those transitions tight and smooth so there's no distraction. And you can do that by programming all of these
2, 3,
transitions
4,
right
5, 6.
inside of Prime, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you ever need a pad just on the go, you're like, you know what? We're going to do a little moment here. You can just turn on Pad Player down here at the bottom. And this is the on-off button right here. You can turn it on, and you can choose the key of your pad. If you want to go to the key of A, you can also adjust the octave of the pad. And you're like, hey, you know what? This was not planned, and you start talking, you set something up, and now we're going to go into back into We Praise You, press play. We're already in the key of A.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
And now we're in, the pad player is playing, the tracks are playing. I could turn the pad off if I want to.
Intro
The pad fades
2,
out.
3,
Let's go.
4.
So that's how you can kind of use transitions and pads to really make a set list flow really easy. Now let's just say you have a song that you don't have tracks for, but you want to play to a click. You can add a click track very easy by clicking on the library button. And in the top right corner, you can click on Create Click Track. I'm going to click this, and we can name it. So let's just say I'm going to do How Great Is Our God. I don't have a track for it, but I want to at least play to a click. And I'm going to set the BPM to, gosh, I think that's 72. The time signature is 4/4. The subdivision of the click, you can choose if the click accent's on or off. You can also choose the duration of the click. Like, hey, we're going to play this song for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And the key is going to be in the key of C. I'm going to click Add New. And now in my set list, I just have a click for How Great Is Our God. That the click is at 72, but I want to change it so it's a little so there's the accent's a little different. On the settings button on the click track, you can choose here and bring this down if you want to change the click subdivision. So there's this. That might be too hard to stay on time with. Especially anything under 100, I would say you don't want one time division, you want like 2 times. Just a little bit easier to stay on time with. You can turn on the click accent right here, which that little gear icon right here is available on all of the songs. So right here, if you want to change praise, turn the subdivision up. Whoa. I like doing 2-time subdivision on songs because it really just helps the drummer lock in to the click. So that's how you create click tracks, and you can always access them from your click track menu here. There's a tab called click tracks, and you can see all the tracks, the click tracks that you've created. You can add them to a set list. So that's how you build a set list in Prime, and you can, it's saved to my device. Now, with a pro feature, you could actually save it to the cloud, so you could load it on an iPhone and a Mac and everywhere. But if you're just getting started, you just save it right here to your device. I've got my set list ready to go for tonight. Now let's talk about how do we actually connect this to a sound system? How do we actually get this audio out of my computer into a sound system? I'm going to show you a diagram that will show you how to do this. A very, very basic way to do this is by coming out of your iPad or your phone or your Mac with a headphone cable that looks like this. You can buy one of these on Amazon for $7.99. And it's a headphone cable that splits into the left side and the right side, because a headphone jack is a stereo. It's a stereo output. You've got the left side and the right side. So what this cable does is it takes your headphone jack and it divides the left side and the right side. Now Prime is really smart and it auto mixes these outputs for you. So by default in Prime, the red faders go out of the left-hand side of your headphone jack. The right faders go out, the blue faders, which are your instrument tracks, go out of the right-hand side of your headphone jacks. And you don't have to do anything. It's actually already set up like that automatically for you. Again, we're trying to keep it really simple. So you get 2 direct boxes. These are what you'd plug your acoustic guitar into or your piano. And you've got one for the clicking cues and you've got one for the tracks. You plug the right-hand side into the tracks DI and the left-hand side into the clicking cues DI. One little trick here on these cables, just so you know, red is always right. Red is right, and white or gray is usually left. Then you go into your soundboard. So the tracks go into your soundboard or your snake just like you would any other instrument. You have to start thinking of your computer or your iPad as another instrument in your band. So the tracks are on the right-hand side. You send those to your soundboard and have your sound team turn them up. Turn up the tracks. I can't tell you the number of times I go to church and I can hear the tracks, but barely. And I'm like, this would sound better if you bring the tracks up. Tell your sound team to bring the tracks up so people can actually hear them, and it just makes the sound of the band sound more full. Then the clicking cues, you send those to however your band is hearing things. So if you have in-ear monitors, you send the clicking cues to the in-ear monitor system. Now, some of you might be like, well, wait, we do not have in-ear monitors at our church. How would we do this? You can do this. I ran tracks for 5 years without ever having in-ear monitors as a worship leader. It's totally doable. All you have to do, though, is get the click to the drummer or get the click to whoever in your band is keeping time. It could be the acoustic guitar player or the piano player. If you have a drummer, it's the drummer. Get the click to the drummer. And here's what you do. Here's a very simple diagram that shows you how to do that. Come out of Prime the same way, and you send the tracks to the soundboard so that the audience can hear it. But the click and cues, what you're going to do is send it to a little miniature mixer that you can buy. You can buy one of these for $40 on Amazon. Send it to a mixer that you put back by the drummer. And the drummer has a pair of headphones, can plug into that mixer, and on channel 1 could adjust the volume of the click. And then what you would do is instead of like that wedge, the monitor that's back by the drummer, unplug that. And instead of a wedge, you plug that cable into channel 2 of the mixer. So now basically you've given your drummer a very basic and affordable, cheap in-ear monitor system. Because on the little mixer by the drummer, they can adjust on channel 1, the click to stay in time. And then on channel 2, they can adjust whatever was going through that floor monitor on the ground. This is a really basic setup, an easy, affordable way to do it if your church does not have in-ear monitors. If your church does have in-ear monitors, then you know what to do. This is easy. Just get the clicking cues to the in-ear monitors, and the more people that have it in your band, the better. So that's how you actually get this set up into your computer. Or out into your sound system. Let's talk about controlling this. So ideally, you would control Prime completely hands-free. So far, I've been using my mouse to control the tracks, which is fine. You can use the space bar to stop and stop the tracks. But if you want to be completely hands-free, let's just say you're a worship leader who plays acoustic guitar, you don't have your hands free. Well, we've developed foot controllers for guitar players to control the tracks with your feet. We've got a controller here. This is called the Looptimus controller. This is a big one. It gives you a ton of different buttons, and there's a lot of different things you can do with this. You can play pads with it. You can control your tracks. You can be spontaneous, jumping to different sections of a song. This is called the Looptimus controller, and this is more for advanced track users. So you can check this out at looptimus.com, but what I want to show you today is a very easy to use basic controller for beginners. This is called the Looptimus Mini, and it has 3 buttons that you can assign to different things inside of Prime. You could have this be play, stop, and next song, or it could be whatever you really want it to be. It's 3 buttons, but it actually can it actually can control 6 different things. So you can press it once. So press it, press it, press it. If you press and hold and release, it gives you another option. So let me show you how it works. So I have it plugged in just via USB. And let me show you how you program this. It's very, very simple. All you do is you click on MIDI in at the top. And anything that you see that has a white dotted line around it can be assigned to one of these buttons. So I'm going to keep this really basic, and I'm going to make this be play. So I click on that. I'm going to make this one be stop, and I'm going to have this one be next. So I'm just doing play, stop, next. So check it out. Now I'm going to leave. I'm going to put this down by my feet, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to start the song. I'm going to press play. It starts playing the song.
Intro 2,
Hands
3,
free, right?
4.
And you're like, we're going to stop. I'm going to press the stop button. I can go to the next song by pressing the next button. Press play. So I can control
Chorus,
this all
2,
just
3, 4.
across the room with my feet. This plugs right into your iPad or your Mac just as a controller and automatically works with Prime. We've designed this so it just is easy to use. Automatically works. Plug it in. There's no drivers, no software to install. Plug it in and just tell what button you want to do what, and you're good to go. So this is the Looptimus Mini. I'm going to show you where you can get that if you're interested. You just go to Loop Community and click on Products and go down to Looptimus Mini. And here you can get this controller. It's only $99. And tidbit, I think right now on Amazon, it's even cheaper. If you go to Amazon, check out Looptimus Mini, and you can get this controller. It's an easy to use 3-button controller for Prime. If you want a little bit more advanced, you could try the Looptimus. We have that as a bigger controller that works completely hands-free as well, or wireless. So we have a Bluetooth version. If you're interested in that, you check out some YouTube videos that we have. Another thing I wanted to talk about that you can get at Loop Community, and this is something we recently launched, are chord charts. So we actually recently released chord charts that match the track. So if you're looking for a chord chart that's exactly like the track that you're playing inside of Prime, you can get those now at Loop Community. We're really excited about this. You can buy them individually, or we even have a subscription if you want. So if you want them individually, they're $1.99, so pretty affordable. Or you can unlock unlimited chord charts for $12 a month. So that's also a really good deal if you're looking for a chord chart option. $12 a month gives you unlimited chord charts. And we also have an app that you can use. It's called the Charts app. And the charts dynamically stay in time with the tracks. So you'll notice that as the track is playing, the section of the chart automatically highlights. And that's a really cool feature for your band because they could all have the chart up on an iPad. And as Prime is playing through the song, or maybe you decide to jump to a chorus, it's going to highlight the section that you're currently playing. So the chord charts are completely dynamic. Pretty awesome feature. So let me just show you what they look like. If you go to a song like Trust in God and you find the song you like, here's the track I like. I love this track. I'm going to use it in Prime. Then you click on this tab, you can find the chord chart. And this loads the chord chart. You can kind of see a blurry preview of it. But when you unlock it, like I'll go ahead and unlock it, now the blur goes away and I can change the key of the song. If I want to change the key, I can adjust the capo position. We have chords or numbers, do, re, mi. You can choose 1 column or 2 column, and it dynamically updates this chord chart for what you need. And you can click download, and bam, you've got a chord chart that works perfect. Or you can open it right in the Charts app. So just wanted to throw that out there so you know that we also do sell chord charts at Loop Community that match the track. So if you're looking for that, just click under Pro Subscriptions and choose Charts. You can check that out. $1.99 or $12 for unlimited charts. Great deal. We also launched a track subscription. If you go to Pro Subscriptions and choose Tracks, you'll see that we have something called Tracks Pro. And we've launched something recently called Light Tracks Pro. And what this allows you to do is unlock as many light tracks inside of Prime as you want. Light tracks are those versions that are very simple. They have like acoustic guitar, pad, piano, shaker, and a lead vocal on most of them. And they're very basic tracks, but they're really great for a small church or someone who's just getting started with tracks and just wants to try it out. We have something called Light Tracks Pro, and you can subscribe to Light Tracks Pro for $10 a month. So instead of buying light tracks are I think $6.99 each. You could subscribe for $10 a month and get unlimited light tracks in the Prime app. So that is a great deal. You can subscribe monthly or annually. That's really great. We are getting ready to launch a new one that's going to give you access to more tracks, but stay tuned for more details on that. So here's what I want to say is the next steps for you. What are your next steps? If you're brand new to using tracks, we want to keep this easy for you. We do not want to make this complicated. And so what I would say is if you're brand new to getting to using tracks, go to loopcommunity.com and create a free account. It's completely free to sign up. Create a free account at loopcommunity.com. And then download the Prime app. This is the app I've been showing you this whole workshop. Download the Prime app. It's in the App Store. Just search Loop Community Prime and get that. There's actually a free song in the Prime app, so you can kind of log in with your account and demo it out. See how you like it. Start playing with it, play around with it, and then maybe try getting a song. If you go to the feed, you'll notice that down here, I'm going to scroll down. We have a few free tracks right now. We've got, here's a couple of free tracks you could get. Here's a pad. Actually, that's free. That's a good deal right now. Go get the Prime pad for free. I'm also going to give you a coupon code. If you're brand new, you could use the coupon code beginner20. So use the coupon code beginner20, the number 20, and that's going to give you a free premium enhancement community or light track that you can use inside of the Prime app. So, but you have to use that coupon code in the next 24 hours. It's going to expire. So if you're watching this, you want to get a free track, go use the coupon code beginner20 and it's give you a free app track that you can use inside of Prime. So find any track you want, here's Good Good Father, and go ahead and add this to your cart. Right here, in-app only, add to cart, and use the coupon code beginner20. So download the Prime app, create a free account at Loop Community, get your free track, browse tracks, check out what we've got on the feed as top selling songs. This is a great way too to see like what songs people are singing right now. This is updated, I think daily actually. And it shows you the top selling songs. So like number one right now, people are playing Trust in God at their church. Praise, I Thank God, Holy Forever is climbing the charts. So it's also a great way to just song discovery. See like, hey, like what song, get some song ideas for your worship team. So check that out. Don't feel like you have to do everything I've showed you at once. You can just get started simply just by creating a set list in Prime, try it at a rehearsal, try it on a Sunday morning. You don't have to get super geeky all at once. If you want to get, really advanced with this, you can. You could we have an audio interface called TrackRig. If you want to use TrackRig to send different outputs to different inputs on your soundboard to let your sound team mix the tracks, you can use something that's called TrackRig. This is a hardware interface we developed. You can use our controllers. You could also sign up for Prime Pro, which just gives you more advanced features like more storage space for uploading your own songs into Prime, syncing set lists, or Prime Teams gives you an ability to actually share set lists with your band members so they can practice at home. Saving arrangements to the cloud, MIDI out if you want to control lyrics and lighting. Prime Pro has a bunch of advanced features, but I say all that to say that you do not need all of that to get started. Keep it simple. If I were just getting started with tracks, get a couple songs, try it in the free version of Prime. Really, everything I showed you today, you can do in the free version of Prime, which is really just about everything a worship leader needs. So that's why Loop Community is very affordable and easy to use. Just get started that way. And then once you've done it for a while and you're more advanced, you're like, you know what? I want to start syncing my set list to the cloud or sharing set lists with my band members so they can practice at home. Then you could start kind of, researching other features that Loop Community offers. Because there's a ton more that I have not shown you. But this is an introduction to the Loop Community world, the Loop Community ecosystem of all of these things that are designed to just help what you do, just make it better, make it sound better, and make it easier. Make sure you join our Facebook group. Go to Facebook and search Loop Community. Join the group. We've got thousands of worship leaders in there who are in the exact same position that you're in right now. Just getting started. You're like, gosh, I don't even know how to set this up. You could ask a question like, hey, how do I set this up? Or how do I route this audio to my band? And people in there will help you. We have a great community. Community is in our name for a reason, because it's a community of worship leaders who are using loops. So join the Loop Community Facebook group. We also do a lot of sales on there too, if you're looking for sales. So join the Facebook group. We're also a small team, and we're available at all times to answer questions. We're a very personal company. small team, people who use this in their church, who love the church, who love worship leaders. And we're really about just making it easy for churches. So if you need to contact us, email us at support@loopcommunity.com, and someone from our team will get back to you. We can even hop on the phone with you if you have questions. Email support@loopcommunity.com. If you are just getting started and you need help, we're always around. Also, do not forget, use the coupon code beginner20. That'll give you a free track. So this was just a very brief, but an hour overview of how to use tracks in worship using the Prime app. The beginning of unlocking the Loop community ecosystem. So many cool things you can do now with technology. I really wish this was around when I started leading worship. I would have gone crazy. I would have gone nuts because it's just so fun, I think, being able to use technology and leading worship, and doing the two together. It's just fun, and you can really help enhance your worship. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I really appreciate you guys joining us for this workshop. If you have any questions at all, be sure to reach out to us, support@loopcommunity.com. Join our Facebook group, use that coupon code, and I hope you really love using the Prime app as much as I do every single Sunday. Thanks for being a part of Loop Community. Couldn't do what we do without you. Thanks for joining us today. Have a blessed week.